Have you ever felt like you're capable of so much more, but something keeps holding you back? If that question resonates with you, I want you to type in chat, me, or yes. I mean, have you ever felt like you're capable of much more, but something keeps holding you back? Well, you got dreams, you got goals, and even a plan, right? But no matter what you do, you just can't seem to be able to get to the next level. You keep hitting a limit. You keep hitting a cap, right? You keep plateauing, and makes you wonder, like, man, what's going on? Why does this keep happening? Well, in today's training, we're going to begin to uncover why most people never reach their full potential, right? And how you can break through. All right. So if breakthrough sounds awesome for you, type in the comments right now, breakthrough. Or let's keep it short. Put BT for breakthrough. Put BT for breakthrough right now. And since we're live, go ahead and invite others to chime in right now. Hit the share button as well, my friend, because we want to help other folks as well. Now, here's the deal about potential. You got to understand potential. Potential is something that everybody has. All right. All of us have potential. Yet, so very few of us are able to reach it. Think about that, right? Why is this? Why is this? Well, here's the deal, my friend. It has nothing to do with your talent. All right. It has nothing to do with your IQ. Okay. It has nothing to do with how smart you are or how smart you may not be. It has nothing to do with intelligence or even how hard that you work. I need you to get that and understand it has nothing to do with any of those things. Okay. There are certain beliefs and certain patterns, right, that hold people back from experiencing their full potential. And these limitations, right, these things that hold us back, they're invisible. They're often woven into your very fabric, woven into your very DNA, woven into your habits, woven into your mentality, and woven into your things that you actually fear and how you feel, your emotions. And so it's not something that you can visually see. That making sense? Are you following me right now? Are you catching what a brother is throwing? Right? So you can't see it. It's not something you can physically see with your eyes. So it's something we got to dig down deep, right? If we're trying to excavate something, we got to get down deep beneath the roots. If we want to uproot a tree, right? We uproot a tree, we got to go down deep. We can't just go down a couple of inches. We got to go down deep. Well, we got to go down deep to ask yourself, why am I falling short of my potential? Why am I not doing the very thing that I feel I should be doing? Because, we have that feeling deep down in ourselves, right? Yes, yes. Am I right about it? Yes, yes. So I'm going to share with you the 3 ways to reach your full potential, but I'm going to do it in a reverse type of teaching. I'm going to talk about why most people never reach their full potential. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why people don't reach their full potential. And so your job is to do the exact opposite. So a lot of times we can learn about what not to do. Sometimes I teach, I tell my clients and students, here's what you should do. But if I tell them what not to do, then they're going to do the things they need to do naturally, right? So here, I'm going to tell you the 3 things that will cause you not to reach your full potential, all right? And you do the opposite of these. You got it? Make sense? Type of 1 in the comments and chat right now if that makes sense. Type of 1 right now if that makes sense. All right, cool. So let's talk about this. The first thing, the number 1 is the number 1 way to not reach your full potential. Number 1 reason most people don't reach their full potential is fear of failure. Write this down, fear of failure. See, this is one of the biggest roadblocks to doing the very thing God called you to do. This is one of the biggest roadblocks to reaching your full potential is fear of failure, right? And this fear keeps us trapped in your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. And your comfort zone is, if you've been following me in the linear length of time, I want you to understand I call comfort zone Egypt because since I teach marketing, sales, and business from biblical principles, I take stuff out the Bible and make it relevant to you today in your life and business. Well, whenever I say comfort zone, I want you to think of Egypt. In Egypt, I mean, going back to Genesis and Exodus, when God had called the children of Israel, they was in bondage, they was in slavery in Egypt. But guess what? They became comfortable. They became comfortable in Egypt. Why? Because even though they was servants, they was getting 3 square meals a day. And when God said, okay, it's time for you to move on to the promised land, they didn't want to go. They were ready to kill Moses. They're like, dude, why'd you bring us out here to die? Take us back to busting bricks. At least we get fed some oatmeal and some grits every day, right? Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. There ain't no food out here. There ain't no water out here. What are you doing? So they was comfortable, but they was broke. They were stuck. So fear of failure is Egypt. It's your comfort zone. It's your stuck zone. It's your biggest roadblock that's keeping you from doing the very thing that God has put you on this planet to do. Okay? So, and here's the deal. Here's something I've discovered. I have been full-time online since August 23rd, 2016. Prior to that, I had my business part-time. I began personally coaching clients around 2016. I've noticed that people will work like _HE hockey sticks. They will fight you like _HE hockey sticks to stay in their comfort zone. Ooh. People will fight you tooth and nail to stay in Egypt because that's all they know. Even though they hate it, even though they know it's wrong, even though they know there's something better for them, because they're comfortable and not become uncomfortable being comfortable, they will fight you tooth and nail to stay in broke land, to stay in comfort land, to stay in Egypt. And they're not willing to take the risks necessary to change. They're not willing to step out on faith to change. They stay trapped. You know, they talk about the trap house, right? Egypt is your trap house, right? Egypt is your trap house. And it's keeping you from doing the very thing you want to do. There are bigger things that you could be doing, but because you're comfortable in a trap house, you can't move forward. So you miss out on opportunities for growth by staying there. And why? Let's answer that question. Why is that the case, Coach Chris? Right? Put why in the chat right now. WHY. Why is that the case, Coach Chris? Here's why. It has a lot to do with self-doubt, uncertainty, and here it is. Worried about what other people are going to think. If I can do one thing before I leave this earth, it's making people stop worrying about what other people think about you, because it's irrelevant. Those folks you're worried about, if I do this, how they gonna be? What they gonna think about me? If I post this, what they gonna think about me? Who cares? Those folks don't pay your bills, and those folks you're worried about. I don't want to say this, but I gotta say it. Those folks you're worried about probably not doing diddly squat of significance on this planet, right? So who cares what those folks think? But when you look at the research and studies show that 70% of people hold back from doing the things that they should do. 70%, I mean, 7 out of 10 people, 70 out of 100 people, 700 out of 1,000 people hold back due to fear of failure. That's a lot of people. 2 Timothy 1:7 says this. It says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. So God has not given us that, then where did that spirit come from? Well, what has God given us? God has given us but of power and of love and of a sound mind. See, that reminds us that God doesn't give you fear. Fear has nothing to do with God. And fear of people definitely has nothing to do with God. So we have to get to the point where we can let go of fear of failure, because here is the deal. Failure is not failure as you think it is anyway. The stuff that you fear doing is not as real as you think it is. You know, fear, false evidence appearing real. Put NF right now in the chat. Put NF for no fear. Put NF for no fear. Because here's the deal. Let me define fear for you. Fear is not what you think it is. Okay? Fear is not what you think it is. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And what people do is this. You got to reframe fear for what it truly is. When it comes to doing the things that you need to do here, if it's investing in a mentorship program, maybe the investment is more than you thought it was going to be. If it's doing paid ads, if it's launching your coaching business, if it's growing your coaching business, if it's whatever it is, you got to reframe fear, because here's the deal. A lot of folks let fear stop them because of what? They feel like, I feel phony now, Chris. I have this inferiority complex, or this you have this complex of feeling phony. That's a good thing. That's a good thing to feel that way. Why is that a good thing? Because that means that now you're stepping outside your comfort zone, right? They call it imposter syndrome online today. Anybody felt like an imposter at one time or another? We all have. My hand's raised too. We all have. There's nobody who's done anything of great significance who never felt like an imposter. Moses, when God called Moses to go to Pharaoh and said, he told him, tell Pharaoh to let my people go, Moses felt like an imposter. Okay? So it's normal. It's normal to those who are doing things outside their comfort zone. If you never felt like an imposter, that means whatever you're doing isn't big enough. What you're doing is way too small. Because if you're not afraid to do something, it's too small. It's nothing. So instead of doing what the masses do and allowing fear to be a red light, you have to reframe fear and turn fear into a green light. If I'm afraid, do it afraid. I'm afraid because why? There's something bigger on the other side of that fear. So instead of letting fear stop you, as a way we have been conditioned in our minds, our minds has conditioned us to avoid feeling, to avoid things that may harm you, right? So you've been conditioned that way naturally. What will becoming a go-to authority in your field and consistently attracting high-paying clients do for you? Will it give you the freedom to work less, make more, and finally enjoy life on your own terms? On Monday, I'm hosting the Authority Positioning Challenge, where you'll learn proven strategies to position yourself as the expert clients want to work with, so you can start attracting the right people with ease. No burnout, no guesswork. If you're ready to take control of your business growth and step into the authority role you were meant for, join us now. Click the link around this video or go to authoritypositioningchallenge.com to register now. And let's make your business work for you. See you in the challenge. And society has, unfortunately, brainwash you and more into that conditioning. And so whenever you have fear of doing something, most people believe that fear means don't do it. Oh, I'm afraid to invest $20,000 in myself. I'm afraid to launch this business. I'm afraid to create my book. I'm afraid to do paid advertising, whatever the case may be, right? And all those fears are false, because no, if something don't go the way you want, guess what? You're not going to die. So what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can ever happen is something don't work out the way you hope for, is that you die. But guess what? You're not going to die. If the ad doesn't go through, doesn't work, if the program doesn't work, if the book doesn't sell, guess what? You're not going to die. So what's the worst that can happen? So whenever fear is at the forefront of you, instead of letting that be a red light to say, caution, stop. No, turn that fear into a green light. It's like if you're about to go through a red, how some of y'all drive, right? I said some of y'all, but how some of us drive. You know how we drive? You pulling up to an intersection and you see the light turning yellow. Instead of slowing down, what do? You speed up, right? It's green, but then it hits letter, you speed up, right? Whenever you're afraid to do something, shift that, reframe that from a red light that means stop to a green light that means go. And I promise you, things will change for you. Does that make sense? I mean, I think of the countless people who died, who are in the grave right now, bodies in the grave, because they wouldn't start the business, they wouldn't grow the business, they wouldn't invest in themselves, they wouldn't create the book, they wouldn't launch the program, they wouldn't take the opportunity that came their way to change. They wouldn't do none of those things because they were afraid of failing. When failure is not even real. You never fail. The only way you ever fail is if another point I'm gonna share in a minute, but failure is simply feedback. Put that in the chat right now. Failure is feedback. Put that in the chat right now. Failure is feedback, because that's all it is. It's telling you something you need to do to course correct. When a rocket ship used to take off from NASA, or wherever they took off in Houston or in Florida or whatever, right? And it was on its way to the moon or to some other location in outer space. Guess what? It never flew a straight line. It flew a failure route, meaning that while in orbit, while it was moving toward its intended destination, toward its goal, it course corrects while it's in the air. So it's turning and course correcting the whole time. It doesn't go in a straight line, because if it goes in a straight line, it's going to miss its target. That's proven by NASA. Well, the same holds true for you. All right. So that's the first one. Is that good stuff? Type GS right now in the chat. That's good stuff. Type GS right now in the chat. That's good stuff. Type GS right now. That's good stuff. All right. Number 2, lack of clear goals. Lack of clear goals. See, the second reason most people don't reach their potential because they lack clear goals. When you don't have specific, achievable goals, you're gonna drift. It's like a ship in the ocean. If it doesn't have a rudder that's directing it to the direction it go, or some type of navigational system, guess what? It's gonna drift. And if it drifts, most likely it's gonna end up crashing, right? And you see it crashing on shore, right? Be shipwrecked. Well, without clear direction, if with yourself, your potential remains untapped. And untapped potential is worthless. It is what it is. So your potential needs a path. It needs a guide. It needs a GPS system, so you're not caught drifting, right? And getting lost in the sauce. So many folks are lost in the sauce of just existing on this planet. Type in the chat right now, no sauce. I don't want you lost in the sauce anymore. Type no sauce in the chat right now, because you don't want to be lost in the sauce. Now, research shows this. Fact. Research shows that people who set specific goals, check this out, are 10 times, how many times? 10 times more likely to achieve them. That is statistic. That is proof. So, since that is true, that would also mean that those who don't set clear goals are 10 times more likely to achieve those too. Ouch. Got to keep it 100 with you. You get what you focus on. Write that down. Write this down. I get what I focus on. And you got to have clear goals. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So what does that mean? It highlights the importance of having a vision, having a clear destination, having clear directive, a clear guide to where you're going, a clear roadmap to where you're going to an intended destination. Because without it, you will waste so much time. Without it, you'll be living life off purpose. Without it, you'll be just existing. And you don't want to be a person just existing. Most of planet Earth is full of people just existing. They live their lives through other people. They live their lives through professional sports and Hollywood people. They don't know why they're here. You ask them, what's your purpose? They don't know. They're just existing, sucking up oxygen. You don't want to be a person that's sucking up oxygen. Okay, you want to be a person who's on purpose, right? I live in Dallas. Well, guess what? If I say, hey, come to Dallas, and you may fly to Dallas, but if I say come meet me in my home in Dallas, and you fly to Dallas, right? But now you're in Dallas, I say, come to my home. But if I don't give you my address, so you can put it in your navigational system, no matter that you might be in Dallas, you still won't find me, right? And so you will still fail, right? Why? Because you didn't have clear guides, a clear direction to get to your end goal, your end target. So just like you can never find a destination without a clear roadmap, you can never hit your potential without clear guidance, without clear goals. That makes sense? So your road to your potential is paved, my friend, with purpose-driven steps, not aimlessly wandering. You know, it's like some people in business, they like, let me throw something on the wall and see if it sticks. And they try all kinds of these different things. They go from thing to thing to thing, from method to method to method, from strategy to strategy, from tactic to tactic. And they're like, nothing's working. Yeah, because you don't know what the heck you're doing. You have no clear guidance and direction. You have no clarity. You're just winging it. You're watching all the free YouTube videos, going to all the free webinars and classes. You're doing all these different things, and you're wasting so much of your valuable time because you have no clear direction. You don't know where you're going. You think you know, but you don't. So you got to get clear on that. Does that make sense? Type a C right now for clarity. Type a C right now in the comments for clarity. All right. And the third thing, the third reason why people don't hit their full potential, and again, remember you're doing the opposite of this, all right, is they give up too soon. Ooh, they give up too soon. You know, listen, once you get on the road fulfilling your potential, you're going to start increasing your capacity to actually exercise your potential. The last thing you want to be is a person full of potential and small capacity. So as potential is here, right? So your potential is this big and capacity starts this big. As you keep growing, all of a sudden those shift. Because potential means something untapped, something you have not accomplished yet. And the reason why a lot of people don't accomplish it is because they give up. They give up way too soon, right? Listen, there's no such thing as overnight success. Overnight success takes most people 10 years of over 10 years of countless nights, okay? 15 years of countless nights, 20 years of countless nights. It's nothing you're going to do, pick up, start today, and all of a sudden, bam. Seed time and harvest, God's laws don't work that way. You can't put a seed in the ground today and expect it to produce a crop tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It's a process. So just like the natural laws work, it's a process fulfilling your potential. And the breakthroughs might not happen as soon as you want. Trust me, I've been down that road, right? But the ones who always seem to not reach it are those who give up and quit. You know, studies show that resilience, which is a characteristic of a successful people, resilience is a top predictor of success, right? And personal growth. You know, there's a book out there called 3 Feet from Gold. It's written by the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And in that book, he talks about people who gave up right before they about to hit goal, and it gives you examples of those who didn't give up but had every reason in the world to give up right before they hit goal, right? And it gives the idea of that someone's, you know, digging for gold. You know, they're in a gold mine, digging. They've been digging, constantly digging. They're tired, they're exhausted, no results. They're trying this, no results. They keep pushing, and then at the point they're like, you know what? This ain't meant to be. They leave and they quit, and that goal is literally 3 feet from them. So many folks miss out on their breakthrough because it was too hard. And listen, I get it. Creating a successful business is not easy. Don't let people lie to you online. I didn't hit 6 figures until maybe like, a lot of years in business, 15 plus years in business, part-time, right? Then I was able to hit, 6 figures in 59 days. But that didn't happen in 59 days. It happened all those years prior to that. By me not giving up when everybody else was quitting all around me, when it was hard, right? Listen, I get it. It's hard. It's hard to create success. But here's the deal. You can do hard things. It's supposed to be hard, but you can do hard things. Type this in the chat right now. I can do hard things. Put this in the chat right now. I can do hard things because you can. You are equipped right now in your DNA to do hard things. Hard things will not come your way if you cannot overcome them. I don't know if y'all caught that. Hard things and challenges would not come your way if you could not overcome them. If you are equipped to be more than a conqueror. You are equipped to be an overcomer. Is this making sense? See, Galatians 6:9 says, let us not get weary of doing good. For in due season we shall reap if you do not lose heart or do not grow weary. That's one of my verses that I remember reading so much when I was going through my trials. When I was stuck at 30 grand a year in business, working hard, busting my butt, investing in myself, doing everything I was supposed to do. And years, little crops, no crops, drought, valley. And wanted to give up so much and wanted to even kill myself. Because I didn't understand, why am I struggling over and over and over? No matter how hard I work, no matter the much value I put to the marketplace, what's going on, God? And it was hard. So that's one of the verses I had to keep turning to. In due season, in due season. That means God's timing in the Greek. It means God's timing. See, God may give you a revelation of the end goal, but he never gives you the roadmap to get there, step by step to get there. Because if he told you what you got to go through to get there, we would never go that route. Be like, I'm cool, Lord. I'll stay in Egypt. I'll stay in bondage. I'll stay comfortable here. So God showed you the end goal, but he never tells you, okay, you got to go through this, you got to go through that, you got to do this, this got to happen, you got to have this setback, you got to have this betrayal, you got to have folks lie on you, have folks cheat, you got to work hard, you see nothing. I mean, he doesn't tell you all that stuff because you will never go through it. Even Jesus himself, when his human side got to speaking, when he realized what was going to take place to endure his crucifixion, he said, Lord, if it's your will, Father, if it's your will, take this cup from me. Even the human side of Jesus didn't want to go through it. But he kept focused on what? The end goal. So just like you need to focus on the end goal too. Why are you doing this? Because if you don't have a strong why, you might as well, if you don't have a strong why, it's not going to work. Because you will have tough times, guaranteed. It will not be easy, guaranteed. So I'm not like everybody else online telling you, oh, it's going to be easy. Go ahead and give me $50,000 and I'll make you rich next week. No, it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging. But guess what? You can do challenging. You can do hard things. Because what really matters, guys, is who you become in the journey. The journey is way more important than the destination. We put too much emphasis on the destination because that's where we want to get. You want to get to 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, right? Yeah. Chris, help me get there. That's where you are. Yes, I get it. But who are you becoming in the process of getting to 6 figures? Who are you becoming in the process of getting to multiple 6 figures? Understand what I'm saying? That's where the emphasis has to be. Because once you realize that persistence brings rewards, then you can have a big picture mindset. Then you can begin to achieve those goals. And it's a promise. In due season, if you plant a seed and you nurture the seed the right way, give it right sunlight, right water, right nutrients, it's a natural law that says, for God is not mocked, whatever you sow, you're going to reap. You just don't know when you're going to reap. He doesn't tell you when. He don't give you a date, time, and hour. But he does promise you, you will reap. But if you give up and quit, I promise you, you will never reap. That's the one way to guarantee it won't work. Is this good stuff? Has this been helpful? Let me know this has been good. Type number 2 in the chat right now. Type a number 2 in the chat or comments. This has been good. Type a number 2 so I know this has been good. So, my friend, those are the 3 biggest reasons most people never reach their full potential. Fear of failure, lack of clear goals, and giving up too soon. So your goal is to do the opposite of those. All right. And if any of this resonated with you, I want you to know, listen, there is a path forward for you. It's resonating with you. Why? Because this is what you need to hear at this particular time and season in your life. Okay. Reaching full potential is not just about getting good information. All right. I can give you good information all day long, but it's about beginning to position yourself as a leader in the marketplace, in your marketplace, in your niche, right? someone who attracts opportunities, someone who can begin to attract clients, someone who can stand out in your field. Okay? So if you want to stand out in your field, you want to separate yourself from everybody else online today, what you have to do is position yourself as an authority. Listen, it's not about how many offers you make. It's not about how many posts you do. It's not about doing those other things, working hard. It's about positioning yourself as an authority in your niche. That will begin to separate you from everybody else, and everything else will trickle downhill from there. So if you want to become the go-to person in your niche, regardless of how many followers you have, I was able to do 6 figures in 59 days. I was able to create a multiple 6-figure business without a huge following online. Well, I'm going to show you how to do this step by step in my Authority Positioning Challenge. If you want to attend this challenge, go to authoritypositioningchallenge.com, or should we put a link in the chat, or go to authoritypositioningchallenge.com. I invite you to join me on this challenge while I'll show you step by step how to get the breakthrough that you after, my friend, and begin to position yourself as an authority and build a sustainable path to success in your business. So I can't wait to see you reach your full potential and pass that up, my friend, and separate yourself from everybody else in your niche and industry, my friend. So if you got value from this, what you need to do right now, if you follow me somewhere on social media, or if you're not following me somewhere on social media, follow me, subscribe. You're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. If you're on my other social media platforms, hit the follow button right now, right? Follow me right now as well. And what I'd love to hear from you right now, in the comments right now, type in the comments right now, what's the most valuable thing you got from today's training? Type in the comments right now, what's the most valuable thing, what was the one most valuable thing you got from today's training? Put that in comments right now. I would love to read your comments and give you feedback on your comments as well, my friend. So, hey, I look forward to seeing you in the challenge. Look forward to connecting with you and helping you grow, become the person God's called you to be as well, my friend. All right, my friend. So hope you enjoyed this. Remember this, put God first in all that you do, and you too shall succeed. Until next time, peace and God bless.